It is that time of year again. The Major League Baseball trade deadline is fast approaching, and Brian Cashman has work to do if he wants to get the Yankees back to the World Series. In this episode, 10 possible trade targets that could help put the Yankees over the top, not only in the division, but in the American League. Leave your trade suggestions in the comments. Let's get started. This is Pinstripe Territory.
Just wanted to talk, that's all.
How's it going, everybody? Welcome back. Welcome back. Every year, the Yankees are active in the rumor mill. Some years they're more active than others in the actual trade market, but they're always in on a bunch of guys. But usually, Brian Cashman doesn't like to overspend. He doesn't typically trade his big-time top prospects. He picks and chooses which ones he wants to deal. But when the division is close, the Yankees will go for it. I think we've seen Cashman do that before. The Rays are right on our heels, and I expect Cashman to do something similar to what he did in 2022. Even though that didn't work out because literally everybody they traded for ended up getting surgery within like 6 months, it was a very active trade deadline. He also did it in 2017 when he brought in, Tommy Kahnle and, Frazier and brought back David Robertson. But this year, there's no clear guy who's being shopped. I felt like adding the extra wild cards would have the effect that it's kind of had, which is more teams are in it and less teams are willing to trade unless it's a financial situation or unless they're completely out of it. So this is my top 10 list of names that I've seen of trade targets that make some sense for the Yankees, of your suggestions, kind of a conglomerate of all of that stuff on, the stuff that insiders have put together. And I think the Yankees need that kind of big, active deadline and to pick up at least like 2 or 3 of these guys. Now, they're not going to get all 10. They might not get any of these guys, but I'm sure that they're going to be in conversations about all of these guys. So for the past week, I've been asking for suggestions from the audience. I've been researching some of the names on my own. I've been pouring through the StatCast data, and here are 10 players that I think the Yankees will be in on, even if they only get maybe 1 or 2 of them. Let's begin with Dennis Santana. Yes, familiar name, that Dennis Santana, the same one who got suspended for trying to throw a punch at an obnoxious fan last week, which, from what I've read, was very much justified from, what the fan let come out of his mouth. But also, he was a guy who had a 6.26 ERA with the Yankees last year. But do not let that PTSD cloud the bigger picture, because something has obviously come together for him this year with the Pirates. He has quietly become one of the better middle relievers in the National League. His ERA is at 1.57. His whip is 0.79. He's striking guys out at a solid clip. And look, the StatCast numbers do not lie. He is in the 95th percentile of pitching run value. He is in the 86th percentile of fastball run value, the 94th percentile of breaking ball run value. His chase percentage is phenomenal. His walk percentage is phenomenal. His hard hit percentage and ground ball percentage, both well above average. So he is having a great year. Now, 34 and a third innings, 26 strikeouts. He's not striking out a ton of guys, but he's using that slider effectively. He's getting ground balls. And this isn't some kind of a fluky run either. If you look under the hood, his expected ERA, his chase rate, very, very good. Pittsburgh has made some tweaks. His sinker and cutter are moving more. He's throwing a little bit harder. And the Yankees have made deals with the Pirates before. Clay Holmes, Jameson Taillon. So the lines of communication are already there. This would not be a splashy move, but it would be exactly the kind of move that Brian Cashman likes to make. Low cost, high upside. And let's face it, he's already been humbled as a Yankee. So maybe the second time is the charm. Word Lifer says, Derek, please tell me you didn't list IKF with a little LOL. I guess you'll have to wait and find out. We've got 9 more to get to. Doug LeGrand says, I hope the Yankees pick up the right pieces. And that's really what it's about. It's not necessarily getting the flashiest names. It's getting the right pieces for your squad. Wayne Wilcox says his beard is the reason for his improvement. Well, good news. You can have a beard with the Yankees now. All right, let's move on to number 9. Jake Bird. Not a household name, not flashy, but if you squint a little bit, he's kind of like a bullpen version of Clark Schmidt. You're not getting high velo. You're not getting 100. You are getting a mixture of sinkers, sliders, and cutters, a weird release point, and a whole lot of ground balls. This year with the Rockies, it hasn't mattered because the Rockies stink, but he's rocking a pretty decent ERA. Let's go ahead and share his stats real quick. 2.62 on the season and a 1.28 whip. He throws his sinker and slider nearly 75% of the time. His fastball, basically just for show. Think of it like the parsley on a steak. It's just there to make the other stuff look good. And then that breaking ball, nasty. 98th percentile of breaking ball value. He is elite at avoiding barrels in the 92nd percentile. Now, he isn't going to come in and throw fire. But if you're looking for a 6th or 7th inning guy who can get some ground balls, get the job done, generate some soft contact, he could be the guy. Plus, he's a Rocky, which means the asking price is probably just a couple of minor leaguers, maybe a decent bottle of wine. And if the Yankees are serious about making an October run and, finishing strong in the American League East and holding on to the division lead, which is very quickly shrinking, they're going to need this kind of an under-the-radar arm to eat innings, to keep you in games, and to let the big arms rest. So this is another one of those guys who could be kind of an under-the-radar Brian Cashman type of move, and I like it. All right. Let's see here. Number 8. Ryan McMahon, number 8. A name that has been on the Yankees' radar for what feels like, a decade. Likes to really, really pick it at third base. He is in the 92nd percentile in range. He has an elite glove, and he's got a good arm over there. Let's be honest. Jazz Chisholm looked way better at second base than he has looked at third base. DJ LeMahieu, pretty much a replacement player at this point. He's not as bad as he was last year, but he's still not that good. McMahon is a lefty bat, which would usually be a good thing at Yankee Stadium, but honestly, the Yankees could use another right-handed bat. I'm not sure I'm in on McMahon. I've seen a lot of suggestions, and he's been linked in all of these articles. He's only hitting 222, so he kind of fit right in. But here's where it gets interesting. His underlying metrics are much better than the traditional stats suggest. He's crushing the ball. 81st percentile in barrel rate, 98th percentile in exit velocity. Got a good walk percentage, 89th percentile. Definitely strikes out a lot, way too much. His xWOBA is 349. That puts him right up there with some of the best run producers in the league. And if you zoom in on the spray chart, there's a lot of outs that would be doubles at Yankee Stadium. Let's go ahead and let me just scoot this up so we're not spoiling any of these, actually. Hang on, let me just go ahead and move that. But, yeah, he is he's having a nice bounce-back couple of months here. You see the spray chart. He's got power to all fields. He doesn't hit the ball down the left field line too much. You wouldn't expect him to as a lefty, but he could find the gap. I think he could be a nice pickup. I'm not huge on his stats, but he might find it with the Yankees. He could be one of those guys. Hey, just a reminder, if you're enjoying this podcast, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, like the video. It helps other Yankees fans find the channel. And now on with the show. All right, so number 7. And we got a comment here. Caden Mills says, need to quit playing Jazz out of position. He picks it at second. I agree. He's much better as a second baseman. So number 7, David Bednar of the Pirates. He's a type of relief pitcher that I think would do really well in the playoffs. He's got a great makeup. He's got a funky delivery. Most importantly, for a relief pitcher, he misses bats. Got a 1.12 whip. His ERA is 2.93. His strikeout numbers are climbing again. He's been way better after a rocky April. He had a 5.14 ERA in April, 3.86 in May, and it's 0.00 so far through 26 days of June. So when this guy is locked in, he is deadly. Four-seam fastball at 97, nasty split finger, just under 93 miles an hour, curveball at 75. The arm slot is funky. It's at 39 degrees, so he's kind of like a cannon out of a battleship, just coming at you all funky. Whiff rate is in the 96th percentile. His strikeout rate has jumped into the 88th percentile. He has been really, really great. And the Pirates aren't just going to give him away, right? This is one of those guys that I think Cashman would have to stretch a little bit for. He's got a couple of years of control left. He's 30 years old, but let's be real. Bullpen depth is a must. Let's go ahead and move over to Bednar here. And if you want to win in October, you got to have 3 or 4 guys in the bullpen that you can trust, right? And right now, I would trust Bednar more than pretty much half the Yankees bullpen, right? I would trust him more than pretty much anybody except for Luke Weaver at this point. Maybe Fernando Cruz. Fernando Cruz has been filthy, but even he's had his tough days. And yes, he has been a closer, but he would not be the closer with the Yankees. He would pitch in, setup fashion, which I don't think he'd have a problem with because he'd be making a playoff push, which he's certainly not going to do with the Pirates. Let's go to number 6. So number 6, we have Kyle Finnegan of the Washington Nationals. And, his metrics don't really jump off the screen. He's not David Bednar. He's older, but he's probably cheaper, right? And that's why he's higher on my list because I think Cashman would be more likely to go after him. 2.89 ERA in 29 games. He's got 18 saves, 28 innings, 23 strikeouts. He's an experienced closer, but would pitch in probably middle relief or setup duty with the Yankees. ERA is solid, 2.89. The whip is 1.21. The strikeouts are still there. And most importantly, he's coming from the Nationals, so he's not going to be super expensive. The Nationals are nowhere close to contending in the NL East. You can get him for probably some low minor leaguers, right? Not sure who, but I'd imagine single A, double A guys. You're not trading somebody, that's going to make a difference anytime soon to get a guy like Kyle Finnegan, which means you can go out and have flexibility and get some more guys. Four-seam fastballs at 96, splitter is at 87, occasional slider just to give you something else to look at. He throws the fastball 2/3 of the time, but the stuff is there. The experience is there. So he's not blowing anybody away with the peripherals, but he gives you flexibility, and you don't have to unload a bunch of top 100 prospects to get him. So, somebody like Bednar would be a better pitcher, but Finnegan might be a really good fit, and you don't have to break the farm to get him. Let's go to number 5. All right. Word lifer's favorite, IKF. Go ahead and take a deep breath. Because, yes, we are talking about Isiah Kiner-Falefa, the Hawaiian hustle. And I know some fans are physically incapable of hearing his name without gagging. But here's the truth. He might actually be the right fit this time for third base. Let's rewind. The Yankees traded for him and immediately shoved him at shortstop. Not sure why. They needed a shortstop, but he was not the guy. That was like buying a toaster and hoping it would make soup, right? He's still playing shortstop. He's playing shortstop for Pittsburgh. They're making the same mistake. But guess what? He was a great third baseman. You're not getting pop. You're not getting exit velo. What you'd be getting is a contact bat, someone who can move the line, someone who makes defensive plays, someone who hustles, who runs the bases well. And he's hitting .273. His expected stats are underwater, but he's one of those hit them where they ain't kind of guys, right? And, here's what you get. He plays hard. He's cheap. He knows the Bronx. There's real value in that. You're not going to be guessing how this guy is going to respond to New York. He's already done it. He never once ducked the booze. So if you're looking for a short-term, low-cost, right-handed third baseman who can occasionally keep the rally alive, won't trip over himself, can get a bunt down, can move a runner over, IKF might finally be that guy. So, we'll see. We'll see. Let's go to number 4. Eugenio Suarez. Let's wrap our arms around the idea of Eugenio Suarez in pinstripes. Is he going to fix the Yankees' base running problems? Absolutely not. Is he going to tighten up the defense at third base? Also no. But what he will do is hit tanks. Lots of them. Already has 25 home runs this year. That's not, somebody who occasionally gets hot. That's middle of the order production. This guy's going to have close to 30 home runs by the All-Star break. Earlier this year, he hit 4 home runs in a game. So he's obviously still very dangerous. He ranks in the 89th percentile of barrel rate. He's in the 69th percentile of exit velocity. Barrel percentage is great. Hard hit percentage is great. Batting run value is in the 90th percentile. Look at this power. Guy has legitimate power. So you're not getting a vacuum at third. You aren't exactly getting a fundamentals first squad right now anyway. But what they need, one of the things they need, is a real threat to protect some of the guys at the top of the order like Judge and like Bellinger. And no, he's not going to steal bases or save runs with his glove, but he might win you a playoff game with his bat. That's the kind of bat that he has right now. Ziana says he's like Joey Gallo with a little bit more contact. That's interesting. It's an interesting comment. All right, let's move on to number 3. Merril Kelly. Merril Kelly might not be the sexiest name at the deadline, but he might be exactly the type of pitcher that the Yankees need. He's flying under the radar, 3.39 ERA, 1.05 whip through 16 starts. Lower than most of the frontline names that you'll see right there. So, he's been pitching great. He dominates with soft stuff. So off-speed run value is in the 99th percentile. Breaking ball run value is in the 85th percentile. Fastball run value, not great. Not great. But Jim Cott used to say that pitching is about changing speeds and disrupting timing, right? And that's exactly what he does. So bottom line, he is a pro. He's efficient. He's nasty without needing to hit 98 miles an hour. He's quite possibly available without gutting the farm because he's 36 years old. He's pitched in the postseason. And for a Yankees team that needs a little bit more stability in the rotation, Merril checks a lot of boxes, right? He checks a lot of boxes. Still a strikeout per inning. I would be all in. I would be very excited if they picked up Merril Kelly. Number 2, Mason Miller. Now, this is somebody you're going to see this weekend with the A's, 26 years old. In my opinion, stay away, but we've seen him suggested a lot on this channel. He still averages over 100 miles an hour, 100.8 miles an hour with the fastball. I think he's Tommy John waiting to happen. He's got a slider, he's got a changeup that he throws about once out of every 100 pitches, but honestly, maybe could work with Matt Blake on developing that. Matt Blake is kind of a changeup specialist. Honestly, if I threw 100.8 miles an hour, I would never throw the changeup. I would just go after guys with gas. But hey, ERA is high, 4.85. I don't know if that'll bring his price down because you're paying for the stuff, not necessarily, what he's done, the results. 29 2/3 innings, 49 strikeouts, 1.15 whip. I don't anticipate that the A's are shopping him, but I bet they would listen. And I know a lot of Yankees fans have said, and I to somewhat agree with this, avoid trading with the Athletics because they've hosed us a number of times. Frankie Montas, Sonny Gray. But I do think he would change the entire complexion of the bullpen if you were able to pry him away. And let's be honest. There are very few fastballs like that in Major League Baseball. And on a cold October night, I would not want to face it. I would not want to face that 100-mile-an-hour fastball. Let's move on to number 1. And New York Sports Empire says, Freddy Peralta is my guy, and he is my guy too. He is the number 1 on our list, and he is an ace-caliber arm, right? When everything is working, he is absolutely phenomenal. Look at the StatCast numbers. They are legit. He is 8-4 with a 2.90 ERA at the time of this podcast in 17 starts, 93 innings, and 98 strikeouts, 1.13 whip. The fastball explodes out of his hand. It's about 95. Good changeup, good curve, good slider. They call him full kitchen Freddy. Throw the whole kitchen sink at you. And he's not pitching to contact. This is a guy who wants to humiliate you, right? The stuff is fantastic. The Yankees fans would love his attitude. They would love his energy. And I know one thing about Brian Cashman, and that is he is not afraid to go get pitching at the deadline. We know that when he has prospects to deal and when he has needs, he will fill pitching first because he knows how important pitching is in the playoffs. And last year we saw Yankees had a pretty healthy starting pitching staff, and that was one of the reasons they were able to make it all the way to the World Series. I think Freddie could be a really, really nice pickup. Now, he would not be cheap. There's going to be a lot of teams that want Freddy Peralta. And look, I would part with a Spencer Jones. I would part with some of the better prospects. I wouldn't part with somebody like George Lombard Jr., but you could get a lot out of me if I was Brian Cashman to get Freddy Peralta down the stretch. Quick word from the guys at Foul Territory about Huel, and then back with some voicemails and your honorable mentions.
FT fam, did you know that Huel has sold over 500 million meals around the world, and now it is your turn to try it. While I drink it.
Drink up, Scott, so I can discuss Huel and how I love it. I had some for breakfast this morning. I like to drink it post-workout because of the protein included in it. It always tastes delicious, whether it's strawberry, banana, chocolate, vanilla, whatever the flavor is. It tastes like a dessert, honestly. It should not taste as good as it does.
I agree. New customers get 15% off plus a free gift at Huel.com when you use the FT code. That is FOUL, F-O-U-L, at Huel.com/FOUL. Don't miss out. Try Huel today for a perfectly balanced meal. If you miss a meal, if you're looking for a little protein boost, you just saw me drinking the Black Edition ready to drink. There's the vanilla flavor. I love what the chocolate brings to the table. It's really damn good. So give it a shot, FT fam. 15% off plus a free gift for new customers with the code FOUL.
All right, we got a couple of honorable mentions here. New York Sports Empire says Seth Halloverin. Let's take a look at Seth Halloverin. 1-2 with a 4.18 ERA for the Rockies. Good off-speed pitcher. Throws the fastball 100 miles an hour, but really it's the off-speed value that gets you because you're looking fastball, you're gearing up, and he's got that splitter and he's got the slider. So good stuff. 100.1 mile an hour average velocity on the fastball. Be interested to see if the Rockies were willing to deal him. And then we got a call for Seth Lugo, who was 4-5 with a 2.93 in 14 starts. I think the Royals will hang on to him. I like Seth Lugo as a pitcher. Again, look at how many pitches he throws. Cutter, fastball, slider. Yeah, I mean, you could do what? 1, 2, 3, 4. He throws like 8 pitches, right? I mean, this guy is filthy. So keep an eye on him. He could get moved. Got a couple of voicemails here.
Hey, Derek, I saw you doing a trade show tonight, so I wanted to call in about a report I saw in The Athletic from a Yankee beat writer. It said the Yankees are keeping Spencer Jones in Double-A just to inflate his stats to make him look good and trade him. And I'm curious what you think the Yankees could get for Spencer Jones, because I think teams are smarter than that. But, that's about it. All right, bye.
Appreciate the call, man. And I got a comment here about Spencer Jones that he's never making the squad. And then another person says that no way do you trade Spencer Jones for Peralta. I would absolutely trade Spencer Jones. I would trade Spencer Jones for anything we could get for Spencer Jones. I am not a believer in Spencer Jones. I haven't been for a while. 40% strikeout rate at Double-A. Yeah, he's hitting some home runs. He's a big, strong dude, and when you hang a slider or hang a curveball, he's demolishing it. If he connects on a fastball, obviously he's very strong. He can hit a long way, but he's missing way too much. I don't see him ever making the Yankees, and if he did, I mean, where's he going to play? Dominguez is starting to solidify himself. Had 4 hits the other day. He's getting better from the right side. You've got Bellinger under contract next year if he doesn't opt out, which I don't think he will because he's not having a huge year. And then Judge in right field, he's not going anywhere. Your DH spot is tied up. You got Stanton, you got Rice, you got first base tied up with Goldschmidt for this year, and then Rice probably going to move there next year, and you still got Stanton under contract for a little bit. So I don't see Spencer Jones making the Yankees, and if I were Cashman, he would be among the dudes that I would be shopping as part of a package to get somebody like a Freddy Peralta.
Hey, Derek, how we doing? It's Franklin Lopez here. And about the trade deadline coming up, there were, at least at the beginning of the season, there were a lot of candidates that were going to sell, but as you noticed in the last month or so, those candidates have been winning. Let's say Arizona, Atlanta, and so on. They've been winning, so they're not looking really much as sellers anymore if they keep winning. So I believe this trade deadline is going to be extremely difficult for buyers, especially the Yankees, because there's only going to be a few teams out there that are going to be selling, and since there's going to be more.
Yeah, I'm going to cut you off. Yeah, I agree. There's a lot more teams in it. So we got a comment here about from Word Life where he says he's brought down his K rate. Look what he's doing recently. I've been watching almost every day. 69 strikeouts in 170 at bats. Right? I mean, that's like close to 40%. I don't have a calculator in front of me, but I bet we can figure it out. That's way too many for Double-A. Come on. Sitting 271, 389 on base percentage, 989 OPS. He does have 16 home runs. That was leading the Eastern League. But I'm just not a believer. I mean, I just try and keep it real with you guys. I am not a believer in Spencer Jones. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Yankees open up a series tomorrow with the A's. Obviously, got to get back on the winning track. Just lost 2 out of 3 to Cincy. And over the next several weeks, we will find out what the Yankees think of their chances by who they go out and get at the deadline. I'll see you next time. If you made it this far, do us a favor, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and join our community. You can also be a part of the show by calling in at 718-899-1068. Also, part of the way that we maintain and fund all of this is through NYYdesigns.shop. Check it out now. Get all sorts of fun Yankees merch, hats, hoodies, zip-ups, beanies, mugs, you name it. We've got it. Check it out, NYYdesigns.shop. And check out Pinstripe Territory on all your favorite podcast platforms. We are the official Yankees podcast of the Foul Territory Network. We're here for post-game shows after every single game, and we're here before a lot of games to talk about the game, preview the lineup, the pitching matchups, and things like that. And we're here all off-season to talk about the latest in Yankees rumors, news, etc. Join our community. We'll see you next time.